They're coming to get you, Barbara.
We found a lot of suspicious things out in that cemetery.
Malignant demons who issue forth from their graves in the dead of night to attack their victims and drink the blood from their veins.
You're invited to my party. The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me?
Welcome back, my cultists, to yet another Vagrant Fear discussions. Today, I'm actually rather excited to say that I have a band that I recently stumbled across on the wonderful world of Instagram and kind of just fell into enjoyment with their music. And now they're sitting on their couch in somebody's living room, and we're going to talk about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you from New York City, Witchforce. Hello, guys and gal. So let's just kind of go around. Let's and I'm gonna be weird about it, but let's start with the dude in the shades and go around and just kind of introduce yourselves and what part of the band you are and everything.
Dan, I'm the bass player.
I'm Steve. I'm the lead guitar player.
I'm Cassie. I'm the voice.
I'm Salchi, drums.
I'm Tommy. I'm a rhythm guitar player.
Excellent. Awesome. Now, guys, if you haven't checked them out, you can find them on YouTube. I've got them on Amazon. I'm sure you can find them on Spotify. Just look up Witchforce. They've got a few songs out there that you can listen to. And honestly, guys, I have to say that I feel that you kind of have almost an 80s rock, borderline hair metal sound to you. A little bit of that look, too, I'm thinking. So let's ask. So you guys, how long has the band been together, first off?
We've been Tommy kind of came up with the band as a brainchild, and he's been thinking about it for a long time. This final lineup that we've come up with has been about 2 years now, and we released our first song around a year and a half ago. And we have about 3 singles out, and our first album is coming up this year, so we're very, very excited about it.
Excellent. Awesome. So then why the name Witchforce? We'll talk to the brainchild.
So I'll tell you, if you or any of the listeners have ever gone through the torture that is trying to start a band and come up with a name, what you do sometimes is you get out a pen and a piece of paper and you come up with every word you can possibly think of to associate with the music you're trying to make, and then you combine those words, and then you hope like heck that you could find one out of 100 that hasn't already been taken and is still really awesome. And that's how I came up with this. It worked with the direction we went in.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Not a meeting anyway.
So then how does your how does your music relate then to your title? You said that, you pick one that kind of is like your sound. So for those of the listeners who haven't heard, what kind of sound then do you guys have?
Well, it's very 80s inspired, like epic fantasy metal kind of thing. But the reason why Witchforce is so important, Cassie could definitely speak to this, is because one of the messages in our music is all about female empowerment too.
Mm-hmm. And definitely, the witch is kind of a huge focus of that world and that magic that music brings. Music is magical. It moves through us in a way that I think nothing else does in vibration. And music in every culture since the dawn of time has been used as spells, as wishes in the world. We would sing for more rain. We would sing to each other for recognition. Music has been used to heal. So it's incredibly powerful and magical. So the idea of this magical world of spells that are also music, and that can change the world, and that music can change the world. And that's the idea of the force too. The force comes together as every one of us who wants to create that change, and then we use the music to tell that story and to get that across to our community and to the people that matter to us.
It's like we've been always taught that witches were meant to be feared instead of the people burning people alive. So kind of changing minds in that sense,
Yeah, witches were women. They were women, who had money and had land and were not married and were doing excellent things in medicine with herbs and we're trying to take back that power and really give that power back to the people. We see a lot of people being burnt, today, based on who they are. And I think that is something that hasn't changed throughout the years of history. And we're still burning people, and we're still killing people and ridiculing people for who they are. And those things kind of need to change. So we're trying to put the focus on the positive of magic, and the positive of the idea of the witch, and the positive of the idea of the people who come together underneath a grand force that needs to be stopped.
Perfect. Until you said it, I guess I hadn't really thought of it, that, you brought up the burning and everything, Salem witch trials, the witch trials in general, where they would literally burn witches at the stake, but now to, figuratively continue that burning at the stake, like you mentioned, Cassie, that it's not, you're not being literally tied to a post and set on fire, but your life kind of is in that way, which, and I'll be honest, and nothing against any of the four gentlemen behind you, but I've been, ever since the 80s, I've been a fan of female-led bands, mostly because I feel like the women seem to have more of an uphill battle, so their music ends up sounding stronger, sounding a little better, because they're fighting harder to get it out there. And that's not 100% true. I've heard some pretty awful ones, but overall, like your Joan Jetts, your Lita Fords, your Runaways in general, these were bands, these were women that had to push forward. So to have you do that women empowerment, and you do have the four guys behind you backing that up as well, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I love that we really do consider ourselves a band. We don't consider ourselves female-led or male-backed. We're all just people, and we're just doing this music thing together, and empowering each other. And I think that is part of the beauty of working with each other, is that we're all very respectful of one another, and we treat each other as humans, as we're supposed to.
Love that. See, that why is that so hard?
Right?
But yeah, I agree. From what I've heard, I think your last song, and I'm blanking on the title, seemed to have a bit of a message of
True Believer, probably.
The which one?
True Believer.
Yes, that was it. It kind of came across as a, hey, I'm very angry at the world kind of a thing. So,
I mean, to say that.
We thought we were subtle.
I mean, I don't want to read into your lyrics, but
all nuance.
But yeah, so you do have some powerful lyrics through you. Now, out of curiosity, who is the main lyricist to the group, or is it more of a community?
Tommy usually does the lyrics, and for that one, we kind of him and I melded minds and kind of created that cool kind of scream parts and things like that. Tommy does most of the songwriting right now, so.
Excellent. Awesome. And now and guys, if you haven't, go find them on Facebook. They did a half-hour, 40-minute live, their first ever live, if I remember right, and they posted it on there. I believe it was just Cassie and Jason. Steve. Why the hair makes you look like a Jason. No offense, sorry. And that came out that Steve, you are also a graphic artist.
Yes.
Yes.
Designed your own merch, your own T-shirt and hat, and I'm guessing the posters when you do shows and everything like that. So is that your? Sorry to say these words, but is that your 9 to 5?
It actually is as of last fall. Yeah, I work in video games right now, but that was, I think, for the first time we started working on this project with Tommy. He already had like all these Boris Vallejo stuff in mind.
Kind of like board stuff kind of put together.
Yeah, and like that's, I grew up on like Frank Frazetta and Vallejo and all that like classic 80s fantasy art. So he was like, I want the album cover to be like this, and I was like, I've always wanted to do that. So it was kind of Then
eventually they stopped talking like that. It was really
I don't know.
The guttural went away. Okay.
For like at least a year.
I just imagine like anytime I'm talking about 80s fantasy art, you kind of have to use that tone of voice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
so
then
you got it. Kind of a Tommy. You're looking at kind of what, like a heavy metal Dio style cover art. Is that where your brain was going?
That was definitely the goal. Yeah.
And
it just so happens Steve has the talent to actually just do this.
Yeah.
used to lie in my bed looking through that stuff for hours growing up. So yeah, it's very in the DNA. And I think as we've like developed more of, like Cass was talking about the message and the content of the band and everything, we've started, and like we've been learning a lot about like actual Wicca and all this kind of stuff. So we've been trying to like bring more imagery into the art as well, to sort of like represent some of the deeper themes you're trying to get at. So yeah, it's been cool to be able to do it all in-house because it's fun to work on, but it's also nice to like meld it with the content of the music and the band and everything else. It's just, it's a lot nicer than, you know, outsourcing stuff or, you know, trusting random AI.
Definitely. Oh God, AI. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to open that.
No. It's okay. I mean, I've been on the receiving end a little bit of it too. On my Facebook, I've used AI as just sort of an image generator, but I've been listening to more and more people and how it's taking away from people like you and things. So I've taken it all off my Facebook, and I'm going. You know, normally it was there because I can't draw. So it was just there because I wanted a picture to catch attention, but you know, work with my limitations.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're very lucky to have Steve. He does all of our merch, our t-shirts, our posters, you know, anything. And also if bands are looking for stuff, or if you're looking for stuff to do, he does freelance art for people all of the time. And you can find him through our Instagram DM if you want to.
Well, we've got a couple of movies on tap for later in the year, so maybe I'll reach out and see what you can do for some posters. If you can give me some Lovecraftian imagery, because that's where we focus on.
Yeah.
This is like what happened with Tommy. He gave me the mood board for this band.
Yeah. And actually, great time for us to say that he is doing the poster for the Iowa show that we're going to be doing with you.
That's awesome.
Very excited about that, and we're going to be doing that in September with you. So that's really
that is true. So listeners, look online. There's an event posting already on Facebook, but September 26th at a brand new venue in downtown Ames called Mary Jane's, we are going to feature a horror rock show featuring 3 different bands, 2 of which are from Iowa, and of course one of them, New York City's Witchforce. And that, so they'll be joining the likes of Gravecore and Next to Midnight from Iowa. And so far, everybody's been pretty excited. I got to go into the venue last night. It's still mostly done with construction. They're waiting on their official liquor license, but the place is looking pretty amazing. So I think we're going to pack it. It's going to have a lot of fun. We're just going to have a blast. So
the place is brand new then.
Yeah, they took it over from a previous venue, totally gutted it and redid it. Mary Jane,
because we're planning on destroying it.
Well, that's fine. It'll be new. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Insurance will cover it.
Does sheetrock, so after we destroy it, fix it.
Yeah, big sheetrock.
No, it's great. We've got one of the promoters who co-owns that, along with London Underground, which is an English pub that we have here in town. He's really behind it, and so yeah, we're actually, when I told him that we're bringing in a New York City band, he's like, oh. So of course I'm like, here's the link, listen to their music, see, this is what we got, and he's excited to bring it. He's a huge music fan of all varieties. He just likes to get stuff out there. So listeners, cultists alike, just keep that date in mind. September 26th, downtown. We're going to have a whole lot
come through.
And keep up for ticket information, because part of it is we are going to have a meet and greet possibility that you can have with either Witchforce or Gravecore or both. I don't see why not both, because they're both freaking awesome. So, but yeah, so you talked to the tour coming to Iowa, which is a bit of a drive, but predominantly you guys have been playing in New York mostly. Is that correct?
New York, a couple of times.
Like 2-hour radius.
Jersey,
Connecticut, Jersey, Delaware, PA.
We're about to do Salem.
Yeah,
which will be really fun.
We're gonna do Rhode Island
Yeah.
in June, and we are going to be stopping at a couple places along the way. So
Do Iowa, yes. So
we
we'll
are
do-
looking at Western Pennsylvania. We are looking at Chicago.
Mhm.
Awesome.
We're looking at doing a couple pit stops on the way to you guys. So more to come on that.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
please check us out on witchforce.com if you want to see any of our upcoming shows or get tickets to anything, 'cause all of it is on there.
Perfect. Yeah, and Cultists, I'm going to be posting a bunch of links on our Facebook group as well and linking them out so you can go to any one. So guys, just give me a list of all the different stuff you want me to link, and I will get that information out there so they can find you even better. But I hear that you are also going to tour slightly, not necessarily out of the country, but off of the continent a little.
This one.
I'll take the honor on that one. So we're going to my home island of Puerto Rico.
Ah, fun. So what brought that on?
I bring the Latin flavor to the band. I grew up there. I was born and raised there, and I still have friends in the music scene. And a couple of friends listened to the band, and they were like, "You have to bring that here. It would be a hit. I know people would love it. So let's set something up." And we're going to be heading down there in August. We're going to be promoting the album as well down there. So August 27th, 29th, and 30th, we're going to be playing some nice shows down there. And looking forward to some fun in the sun.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're opening for Bad Bunny, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The third one is
Exactly. One is Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin, he'll go great with your music.
Yeah.
So,
and
no offense to
I guess I should take the second to shout out AZ Radio,
Yes.
AZ Rock Radio. They are a Puerto Rican led radio station, but they can be accessed all over the world through online. And we were number 2 on their rock list for a couple of weeks with Into the Woods. So that was really
nice.
So thank you to them for playing us. We really appreciate when radio stations play our music. It helps out immeasurably. So thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. No, that's amazing that you guys got, would you say, number 2 on their list for a few weeks on that station?
Up there with Papa Roach, which was wild because we beat Motley Crue. I was like, what's happening right now?
Well, okay. They were better in their heyday, but I don't want to diss on Vince. So
I know. It's so funny.
AZ Rock Radio has 2 categories. They have top 20 local bands and top 20 international bands. And in the top 20 international, we held the number 2 spot for several weeks.
Yeah, we did. It was very cool.
Who was the one band that kept us from the number 1 slot?
I think it was Papa Roach.
Was it Papa Roach?
I guess if you're going to lose to someone,
it was just wild because as you listen to that music on the radio stations, and then you see your own name up with people that you grew up with. It was a pretty wild experience to see for such a small band like us. We really are still like in our infancy of growing.
That was our first single, so it was pretty wild.
It was a wild experience.
So okay. So Cassie brought it up. People that you grew up listening to. So out of curious around the couch, what influences did you guys have that made you want to come into music and be a part of a band? What who brought you to the couch here, to the group?
Man,
that's a big one.
That's a long list.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to 80s metal, but I also grew up listening to salsa and merengue and reggae, a little bit of everything. So my musical background is very eclectic.
Yeah, my father would, he had all the Latin records, same thing, New York and salsa.
Right. Yeah.
Some old Spanish music from like the 40s, and then Pink Floyd and Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And then I found Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and Metallica on my own, and and then I found the drummer I could play with, so I could have a little bit of swing.
Awesome.
Everything in a metal band is like.
First one.
Drop those.
First bomb.
Controversy never hurts.
I also have eclectic music taste. I was brought up with parents who really loved music, so I was into things like opera and classical. I listened to Janis Joplin. I listened to Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James. I loved blues as a kid, and I was huge into musical theater. I actually went to college for musical theater, which is part of why Witchforce has such a theatrical flair to it, I think. So I've done a little bit of everything, but I did grow up loving like Iron Maiden and Dio, and I used to have an Iron Maiden poster in my room. And my very first band ever, when I was like 12, we sang Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. And we also sang Rock You Like a Hurricane. So those were my first songs I ever did with a band. So I've always been very much into like, 80s metal and heavy metal. What about you?
Awesome.
Me? I spent probably an equal amount of time listening to stuff like Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Boston, Twisted Sister, as I did listening to stuff like Cyndi Lauper, Belinda Carlisle, Samantha Fox. My approach to music is trying to marry those two worlds. Even if they don't want to get married, they're going to get married. It's happening.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that, unfortunately, but that Dio Belinda Carlisle duet, I think, would be.
Just keep holding your breath. It's coming.
It'll be there. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all over the place too. I think the stuff that really got me growing up, when I first started playing guitar is right when I got into Hendrix, so that was huge. And I also got into Curtis Mayfield around that same time, which sent me off into R&B land, where I still am.
Yeah, he loves it.
And I've always just been into any 70s groovy stuff. I grew up on jazz and electronic stuff. I'm all over the place, but guitar wise, Hendrix was kind of the start of it all. And then that eventually shifted me into Randy Rhoads. And then I don't know, there's been a lot. Hendrix and Randy Rhoads on guitar are kind of like the big ones though, I think.
Nice.
Along with
Sounds like, I mean, style-wise, well, I should say likewise, you guys are kind of all over the place, but you definitely seem to have pulled together in the whole 80s rock theme.
Yeah.
That's your central focus, which I guess that's probably why I think you have that sound. There's your love right there.
I think everyone in the band is really well versed in music, and so it brings a fun flavor to the band that I think a lot of other bands might not have showcased like at the forefront. So it gives a unique twist,
Yeah. When you watch a lot of those old documentaries on 80s bands, they all came from either jazz backgrounds or blues backgrounds. They didn't start in glam, for instance.
Right.
It didn't exist, right?
Yeah.
They were all very, pretty eclectic.
I think that eclectic thing we have probably keeps it from getting one-dimensional too.
I think that's really important to have a bunch of different minds in the project, just making it something really special and unique. And I think we talk about this a lot as a band, but I don't think that Witchforce would be Witchforce if it wasn't for this amalgamation of humans. Like, just the way that everybody has come together has made this project special and has made what Witchforce is today. And I don't think we could have done it without, the artists and the brain and the, and the poet and, the beat and everything else. So I think it all comes together really beautifully.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, just sitting here watching you guys, you definitely feel connected. There's nobody just sitting off in the corner going, whatever, I play drums. But, but yeah, no, I like that. And it, like I said, I mean, I don't want to tout too much on it, but it does come across in the music and some of the videos I've watched of your live performances and that you definitely look like you're having fun up there on stage.
That's the number one rule.
Pretty indulgent stuff. Yeah.
We regardless of what happens, we're up there to have fun, have a good time. We enjoy each other's company, and that's what we want to project.
Yeah, we work really hard up until the moment, and then in the moment you just gotta enjoy it and play. It's called playing, not seriousing. So we gotta go up there and have a good time.
That's serious. I'm gonna steal that one.
There's your next shirt, Steve. All right. So okay, you've got you said you've got an album coming out here later in the year. You've got 3 singles that you've released. You're going to tour around locally. You're going to play on your way to Iowa. You're going down to Puerto Rico. Beyond that, what is is there a long-term goal of Witchforce? Do you have a destination, or is it just the ride?
It's both, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the ride is huge. You can't do something like this without absolutely loving it, because it sucks up every moment, thought, inch of your time, energy, sweat. But But I think also, I mean, I think we all have goals. I'd love to play whack-in at some point. I think whack-in would be really cool. I would love to, like, you know, just play with some of my dream idols. Like, I know Iron Maiden is touring right now with Megadeth, and I'm like, to be on that bill would have just been like drooling, you know? So I think there's like a lot of fun goals along the way, but I think with something like this, it's also really important to remember the ride, because you can't predict where you're going to end up. But if you have the joy and the love for it, people will feel that, and they will have joy and love for it too.
Right.
At least that's where I'm at, but I'm sure everybody has goals.
No, I'm there too.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while now, I've been approaching this band in a way that I never actually gave myself the opportunity to approach previous bands. And by that, I mean, every moment along the way, tell yourself this could be where we peak. Now, obviously, we want to keep pushing, get our music further and further out there, reach more and more people. But every day, tell yourself, but this could be where you peak. And the importance of that is to make sure you enjoy every day.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You don't want to treat every moment in this band like it's just an opportunity to springboard to the next thing, and you never actually stop to smell the roses. So we're trying to do both, push as hard as possible and enjoy every moment along the way.
And enjoy each other too, you know, like we're playing with really cool people, you know, and we're playing with really cool bands, and we're getting to meet a lot of people, and you know, we feel like a very tight family unit. So I think that's a huge part of it too. It's just, you know, enjoying this experience and remembering that, like, when you look back at certain parts of your life, you don't realize you're having the best time until you're out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and with this project, I want to realize I'm having the best time while I'm still in it.
Yeah.
And so I think that is probably one of the driving forces for Witchforce. Is have a good time, guys. We're here to have fun. I mean, we're an 80s fantasy cornball metal band that wants to come out with like costumes and lights and swords and things like that. So like, we want people to be there dressed up and having fun with us. We don't want anyone to take it too seriously, because it's heavy metal music with a great message.
I was just saying, my goal, pyro.
Pyro.
Set a budget and we'll give you a show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Maybe we'll try and figure out an outdoor, because, like I said, I don't want to shoot fire off in a brand new venue. But, we got some outdoor venues we could explode.
To blow some stuff up.
We need to blow some stuff up.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I've always legitimately wanted to run across a very large
That's
stage.
what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
I played
Yeah.
some,
There's
like
goal.
with you, I played a stage where I was able to run from one side to the other, but I want to like hop on a riser and then jump off, like before I get too old.
Totally.
I actually want to do it.
That we haven't really.
Oh, they're fun. Yeah,
Is it because if you stand still for too long, the pyro will get you?
Yes, hopefully that's how
pyro.
bad it is.
It's mainly about safety. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, that is a definite goal. I will tell you that. You got a stunt spectacular for as part of your show. So, Witchforce, I want to say thank you. I do think that listening to all five of you here, you definitely come across as a group of great friends, as a family. Is you know, it doesn't seem like there's one standout individual in this. It definitely feels like all of you have equal parts in this joy that you're doing. And again, cultists, look them up. Witchforce. It's not hard to spell, just like it sounds. Look it up. They've got some great videos on YouTube. There's some songs, like I said, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on their website. I will post all these links later so you can do that. I'll even go ahead and I will link to the radio station down in Puerto Rico as well, awesome. Where, as they said, they got number 2 slot locked in for at least a few weeks, you know, beating out Motley Crue, but couldn't quite beat out Papa Roach. But what are you going to do? So there's a goal for you. Take down Papa Roach. So, but again, thank you all for talking with me today. We will see you in person September 26th. Like they said, they're going to be traveling along the way. So if you're in Chicago or if you're in New York, and I know some people out in New York that you're probably listening, find them, go to the clubs, go to wherever they are. Take a listen. I've seen some pics. They look like they're having fun. And I think a couple of them, bring a towel for Cassie. It seems like she gets a little sweaty up there. So, but other than that, appreciate it, guys. Have the best of luck. Have great travel, where you're going, and have fun back home in Puerto Rico, with seeing the friends and family again, and then also giving the art to them. And you guys have a wonderful message, which I really enjoy the message that you're trying to get out there through your music. So any last parting words, anything you want to share?
Thank you so much for
Yes,
having
thank you.
us on here and putting this together and putting together an incredible horror show in September that we're like super excited to come and do. And I think it's going to be the show of the year for us. We're very excited about it. Yeah, just thank you for having us on and sharing new original music. It's really exciting.
Oh, you're
And may the
welcome.
force bewitch you.
Oh,
God.
dude,
Thing that-
I'm a 50-plus-year-old Star Wars fan. I can't tell if I like that joke or not. So,
You like
but
that?
yeah,
You will like that. It's your favorite.
excellent. I love that joke. Thank you. All right, cultists, we will check you back next week with a whole nother interview. Until then, sweet dreams.
Bye.